Hello YouTube, got the 7200R 569 Premium again here today, and I wanted to talk about balers today and as to what people should have for a baler, what you might want for a baler if you're looking for one. And by the way, this is the last field of hay. It's mid-afternoon here, or last field of hay I have cut right now, I should say. It's mid-afternoon. We did get about 1,500 of rain last night, not near what we were hoping to get, but just a decent little splatter. And so it took me a little while for it to get dried back out today. Now, this is a 569 Premium. And a Premium runs through an ISO bus, which this is a 4640 monitor. And I'm not quite sure what to think of it. I'm learning this a little bit more and more as I go. For larger hay production, this is a better system because you can integrate it to the tractor. It will actually stop the tractor for you. And I think it even ejects it. Whereas the other one, which is a 569, would just have a baler monitor that sits on a bar. Now, me personally, knowing what I know right now, probably would have and should have bought the other baler just so you would not have to have the Green Star wiring harness. I think it's more complicated having to pipe through your ISO system and get your setup there for it, whereas you just throw the other up here on your utility bar and you can run, including use the other balers through tractors like the old 4450 or an International or whatever tractor you want, whereas this one takes more of a specialized setup, meaning Green Star. And if you want to run the automated mode, you have to run the newer John Deere tractors with compatible Green Star. The new models of baler are a 560M and a 560R. The 560R is basically the premium, and there's not much difference between this and the 560R. But they did offer on the new ones a crop cutter feature, which will kind of end some of the hay grinders business, but I can see some advantages of having that baled up that way. Some guys run large square balers. I know if you watch one of the farmer's videos, he runs a large square. It's a hay eating machine. But and this is what I was wanting to get to today with the difference in balers. A large square baler probably will outperform today what you can get done of a large round. Now, where they have disadvantages, squares have to be kept indoors or under shelter, or otherwise they're going to spoil. Meaning, you have a big rainstorm come up, you better be picking them up right behind the baler. Rounds are going to be more naturally prone to resisting moisture. They have a new net wrap called D-Wrap from John Deere. It actually uses like Velcro strips and a time cycle in your monitor here. And B-Wrap is extremely weather resistant. I imagine the price is up a bit too, but it's extremely weather resistant, and you're just going to get little to no spoilage. So again, you don't leave your hay outside. In my opinion, rounds are a little easier to pick up with tractor stabbers than the squares. At least the bale stabbers I've used or had in the past. Rounds just seem to be a little bit easier to get on and off of a stabber. Hay trailers, like round bale trailers for farm equipment, a lot of them are homemade, and there's a few small welding shop type companies that make some bale trailers. But bale trailers are easier on rounds, in my opinion. That's not to say that there aren't some really good square bale trailers out there too, but it's in my opinion that a round bale trailer might be a little bit easier to load up and use versus a square. A disadvantage of rounds, especially on these hills out here, you gotta watch out where you eject these, so they're gonna run off. So for a large hay producer that's really gonna be kicking out a lot of bales, you're kicking out 300 bales a day, you could probably use a large square, as long as you have somebody out there, like I say, getting them put up. Now, a large square, though, that baler is going to be a couple $100,000. A round baler is going to be $50,000. And so you can buy several round balers for the price of that one big square. And as far as replacement costs and how many bales you're going to get out of that machine in a lifetime, I'm not so sure if that big square really ever makes you any more money, because you look at per tonnage rates, at least the Iowa hay auction results, and there's really hardly any advantage at all to large squares versus rounds. So if you're not really getting any more per ton for how you're condensing or how you're putting that bale into compressing it into a bale, again, my vote's still on the rounds. and I can get a lot of rounds, you know, or a lot of rounds out of a roll of net. Squares, you got more twine to use. I just think the daily upkeep and greasing and stuff is going to be a lot more unhandy on a large square versus a round. I like how that monitor does that, though. So my vote is on a large round versus a large square, just for simplicity to use, cost, and ease of transportation. Now, it's not ease of transportation on a truck. These particular bales on the 569 are 6x5s, 6 feet tall, 5 feet wide, or that's max height that you can build. I mean, you can build a little tiny diameter, but 5 feet wide. So if you go side by side, it's going to be 10 feet wide on a truck. I have seen some truck beds where you actually shove them on lengthwise, like rolls of quarters, and you're still going to have the same width, but you can slide them on fairly easy. They're auto dump trailers. But that's where a square is going to beat a round in the sense that it's easier to package. I mean, you take a square on a truck, they package up very easily and get your weight. You take rounds, you're going to be over width, and you're going to be possibly overweight. It's a little harder to package. They did come out with the 6x4s balers, which are 4 feet wide, 6 feet tall, and I know some guys have had those up in the hills because the idea was 4 feet, it's an 8 foot wide truck. But they roll over in the hills. Like that Baler is sitting there pretty nice. I kind of wonder if that wasn't the 6x4, if it wouldn't just roll over on its face. It's a fairly steep hillside out here. But yeah, round balers. As far as eating hay at 8 mile an hour and high capacity hay, I don't know. I have not ran around a big square baler. I don't know. I mean, a pickup's only going to pick up so much. You only got a certain amount of bars and tines. So, yeah, you got to pick out what you're doing, what your costs are, what do you think you want to get per ton, you know, transportation, everything comes into a conclusion as to what baler works for your operation. Now, it's kind of funny that Vermeer, if you look at their website, they've actually introduced a self-propelled round baler, which, by the way, don't buy one of those the first ones. Wait till they've been out a couple of years to get the bugs worked out of it. But that thing looks kind of promising. I mean, and it's funny that they designed that on a platform of round bales versus square bales. So it tells me that the potential sales, or sales in general, are larger with round balers than they are with square balers. If you're looking at weight per bale, you know, you're talking bales that's coming out of this baler, not in grass, but, you know, normal average kick-out weight on alfalfa, probably a ton. And with a square baler, like a 3x3x4 bale, they're going to be 1,400 pounds. It's going to take a 4x4x4 square to get the weight of these rounds. So that's a little bit of a factor there as well. And then you look at feeding cattle out here, you look at hay rings. Their hay rings are round. So a lot of things are geared for the big round bale versus the big squares. But if you are a big hay producer that's really needing to kick them out quick, and you need to ship them a long way, and you're doing a lot of hay per day, a big square baler is probably the way to go. So now, which baler is going to make you the most money? Bar none, small squares. For me, I would have to have an accumulator because you just can't get the help to rack it, and obviously nobody's going to want to do that either. I mean, that's kind of the old way of doing it, racking hay. If we were going to put up 20,000 a summer, I would absolutely have to have an accumulator. Then you're talking, by the time you get an accumulator and a baler bought, you're talking probably in the neighborhood of $85,000, $90,000. So one, you know, baler like this and a half, and that's quite a bit of money to swallow. But the same windrow of hay here is going to bring 135 a ton. Out of this baler is going to bring 275 a ton. Put in a different condensed cube version, meaning small square. And small squares, or smaller, lighter square balers, so they're going to be a little easier to work on as well. So, depends what you're wanting to do. I have personally thought about getting into the small square market, hay market, with some alfalfa, and, you know, I'm not going to discount the that's not something that's still going to happen. Other things happening around here. I got maybe some exciting news in the 7200R. You'll have to wait and watch my videos every day to maybe find out what that is. Work on the 3020s. I'll try to get you a video on that sometime. And just keeping after the hay. So we got a lot of things in the books to do, and busy summer here coming. And thank you to everybody that weighed in on my last series of videos and gave me their opinions. And I'm pleasantly surprised to see how many other people hate insurance companies as much as I do. They're a bunch of bastards. So thanks for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more of machinery talk and machinery videos and just general conversations. Thanks everybody, have a good one.